the only productive act is to eliminate pain. I mean, if pain is the source, the suffering, deprivation, whatever the words, that's another one where we get into this whole word thing, because what do these words mean? There's 4,000 words for an unpleasant feeling, and they all have dramatically different intensities and depth of what would you call suffering. A hangnail versus, you know, a spike through your head. You know, these are different experiences, and yet we might call them the same thing. We might use a generic word like pain, and that really doesn't cover it. So yeah, that's the core of my theory, though, is that pain is the only known value in the universe. It is the only thing we can know for certain, in my opinion. We can say for certain that it has a negative component, that it is undeniably negative, that it is without a doubt negative, because we know it through personal experience. We taste it, we feel the coldness, we qualify its existence through our own instruments, through our own senses. We are able to know this experience, and by knowing some part of this experience, we can say generically that this is a negative force, this is an unpleasant thing, this is a nasty, this is the root of all evil, whatever you want, however we want to. Like I said, there's 4 million ways to describe this. I'm just saying that, you know, I keep using the term negative just because it seems everybody understands the positive-negative coalition, and I'm just saying that it's negative. And it's the known negative. It's the one negative we know of. It is like the ultimate photon. It is the constituent material that meaning is made out of, because we know it for sure is a negative. Like I said, we're not sure about positives. We're not sure whether there is any true positive, in the sense that feeling good, feeling happy, may be more about a release of negative rather than, or a letting go of negative rather than a true positive. So that makes, like I said, it makes this whole thing complicated, and then it gets even more complicated by context, and that was the problem I had with, you know, me and Matt go back and forth on, because Matt keeps applying everything to a social context. There's no nothing without the society for him. That is the whole, this network is the whole meaning. And to me, these truths exist, whether there's people here, whether there's one person, or whether there's 10 million people. You don't need a community to make these judgments. You don't need look, I could be the only person, I could be the only human being on Earth. I would still have a whole planet full of living creatures consuming each other and experiencing all kinds of conscious experiences. And so there would still be a judgment to be made, whether that was productive or destructive. And so I really, you know, we keep going back, and, you know, it's even, you use abortion as an example, and that would, to me, would be, you know, just how, I don't even understand how you can be at all confused on that issue. And there was some comment about this too, you know, by Mr. Peabody, you know, as if rocks and people were the same thing. You know, as if somehow they had the same meaning, like a grain of sand and a human being are equals. No, they're not. One has a central nervous system. One produces this incredible, bizarre manifestation called consciousness. And that's what we're fucking talking about. We cannot be there's no parity. I could take if I had a tomato in my hand and I squashed it, I'm not squashing a thing with a central nervous system. I might be killing life forms, but I'm not killing significant life forms. I'm not killing meaningful life forms. All right, but if I had a kitten in my hand, then I have something that means something. It has meaning because it has that capacity to feel. It has that vulnerability. It has meaning that the other things don't have. And it is not human arrogance that says this. It is common factual sense. It has an attribute that the other things don't have. I have attributes that a rock does not have. And it is silly to, like I said, it's not about something being alive, it is about something being conscious and vulnerable through that consciousness. And so anyway, but like I said, I don't even know how there's an argument on abortion, because obviously the consciousness hasn't developed to any extent. It's only an emotional reaction. I mean, you eat your dinner. The thing you ate for dinner had more conscious substance than a newborn baby, and it's just a fact of life. That is just a factual truth. A newborn baby isn't even capable of this elaborate consciousness because its skull has been malformed to get through the birth canal. Its brain has been compressed. It is not functioning yet. It hasn't even put itself back together yet. And so there's no possible way it is consciously experiencing anything close to what a mature cow is experiencing consciously. So there's not even an argument here, in my opinion. But anyway, who wants to get sidetracked there? So anyway, it's just, I'm not, and the other argument is that it's almost like to talk about this is to be applying it. There's no risk of this, like I said, and make the distinction. There's a huge distinction between social morality, the morality we agree to as human beings to live with each other peaceably and humanely, decently, honorably, whatever word you want to apply there, words again. That kind of morality, that's a different kind than the morality I am applying when I say that morality derived directly from meaning, morality that has objective meaning, not subjective meaning, not social contract meaning, not what we owe each other meaning, not any of that bullshit. And we only owe these things because of the doubt that exists. I mean, I absolutely cannot, this thing I'm describing, this thing called meaning that I'm sitting here attempting to describe, I can't, it is an intangible. It is a concept. It is a mental construction attempting to duplicate a description of reality. And so yes, I can't say, I don't have the confidence to say, I can say for sure, I can override the social contract, the social morality, to apply this universal morality. I'm just saying it should be part of the discussion, because this is the more important morality in the end. The objective morality is the one we want to find. Merely finding a social contract that works, that keeps people alive, is fine, but in my opinion, it can be very much opposed to the objective morality. We could be falling far short of our objective obligations and have a perfectly satisfactory social contract that keeps us from killing each other. That's really not good enough by the objective standard. The objective should come first, but it can't come first until we can be certain of it. And that certainty, I think we're getting close. I think we're getting close in terms of the fact that we're beginning to know most of the material truths of the universe. We're understanding its structure. The tricky part is figuring out its evolution. I mean, does it repeat? Does it collapse? Does it re-expand? These are questions that are a little more difficult to answer, and trying to figure out just how bizarre and unique intelligent life is in the universe. Just how, are we an aberration, or are we something that inevitably pops up in universes? And like I said, is there any, the ultimate conclusion of all this would be to figure out whether we should be living to minimize the damage we do, or whether we might ultimately have a purpose, in that if we can control some part of the universe, control this mechanism, the universe itself, whether exercising that power might be worth doing, playing God. Because maybe, if there is no God, somebody should be doing it. There should be some intelligent force controlling this mechanism, and that would be my argument, and I think I'm about out of time. So I don't think I'll go a third part, but we'll see what the responses are and see if I'll need to.